Hi, can you hear me?
Testy.
That's Stickles.
Testicle 1, 2.
We're just here to talk about like shits and gigs.
Yeah.
We're going to swear a lot. We'll probably be drinking a lot. Wine thing is so played up. There's only so many
buzzed
things.
besties.
Ooh, you are buzzed. Buzzed besties.
Buzzed besties. Like, who are these hood rats?
We are cool and you want to be our best friends, okay?
Welcome to the Sips and Gigs podcast. Here's your hosts, Nikki Intonman and Steph Joplin.
Yellow. Welcome back. It has been a minute.
So I feel like we've been so busy and I have nothing to show for it. My house is still clearly a disaster. Trying to pack. I have every square inch is a hot mess. I feel like a hoarder.
I just put on mainly like a playlist from when we used to go out in college. Like, yeah, let's pre-drink and then go out to the bars.
It's like,
put on that playlist.
Bartender.
Like, yes. So much T-Pain.
Yeah, that's a good old.
Just picked up so much crap. I got this little grabber thing because I can't bend over, or I just choose not to bend over at this stage of pregnancy. I got this little grabber thing and it is so good. Even if you think about it for picking up your kids' crap, like yucky underwear with like poop stains on the back, where I'm like, okay, clearly you didn't wipe. So you can just hook them with that little grabber, pinch them and throw them right in the wash. It is a game changer.
The thing is, we're going to see that though for the next couple of years. You're not going to ever.
I'm not letting it go. It will be an extra limb for sure. I need to give it a name.
Are you starting to declutter? I know the house is kind of far out, but like, do you feel like you're ready to kind of cleanse? Are you nesting? Maybe that's the word.
Not yet. No, I was looking. I had bought a few things for like the nursery. We just transitioned Grant over to sleeping in his like the bunk beds with Winston. They're doing good. They're like, well, I say that like there's some nights where I'm literally like, oh my God, go the fuck to sleep.
I was going to ask you about that because we have thought about putting the boys in the same room, and the age gap's I think a little bit bigger than Grant and Winston, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that type of chaos and commitment.
You have to start it on like a weekend so that it's like, oh my God, if nobody gets any sleep, then we're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And they have excitement like the first 2 days of doing it. Like the first 2 nights, they're like, oh my God, we're sleeping in the same room. And you just like know that that's going to happen. But then after a while, like some nights we know we really have to wear them out now so that they just go to sleep, or else Grant's the one that just like sneaks up into his brother's bunk and then they get up there and start giggling and playing. And I'm like, oh my God.
Do they wake up at the same time? Like
so we went back to those like wake up alarm clocks where it turns green.
Mm-hmm.
So Winston will usually wake up at like 6:45 on the dot now. And so I don't want them to come out of their rooms until 7 so that we can still have our like morning time.
Yep.
So Winston is usually up, and I told him, I was like, you can get up and go pee, but go back in your room and lay in your bed until that little alarm clock turns green. Grant will sleep through it. But Winston will sometimes be like, hey, Grant, like I can hear him like, Grant, are you awake? You come up to my bed and then we can wait for it to turn green. And I'm like, leave him alone. Let him sleep.
How
but
fun,
then
though.
Winston's good at following the rules. So he like they hang out and giggle and play. And then they come out and they're like, it turned green. So it's pretty cute.
So you are starting on the nursery. Then we're making.
I bought stuff for it, but I don't have the energy yet to like that hasn't kicked in yet where you're like, ooh, yeah, I want to like organize and clean and get all the diapers. No. Mm-mm.
Are we gonna have a sprinkle? Do I need a host like
no.
a little sprinkle?
Somebody has my manager actually asked me this last night. She was like, hey, so do you have like a registry or anything like that? And I was like, no. I have a strict policy that you get one baby shower and it's with your first child. Anybody else who has multiple baby shower, like people want to buy gifts and over and over again. No, you get one time to celebrate being pregnant and that's it.
I agree. I only had one baby shower. The nice thing that my girlfriends did do is they put like a basket together for me, like right before a baby, that was like those like cooling things for your vagina.
Yes.
And like a bottle of wine and a sushi gift card, like stuff.
That's perfect. Yes, that's perfect. Yeah, just like, hey, I'm recognizing that you're pregnant. Love you. Bye. We have like our girlfriends, we have just this big travel bag like that we just keep passing around. So it's not like a celebration of any sort. It's just like, here, that nipple cream we've all used for the last 5 years, still in there. There you go. Here's some of this. Here's some of that.
That's legit. I feel like I still have like a postpartum bag of shit that I never used that I made.
Or like you bought 9,000 of those like like the disposable pads that you would stuff in your bra, and you're like, oh, I love these, and then you didn't use all of them, and you're like, well, what am I going to do? I don't want to throw them away. Like we just put them in this bag, and it travels around to everybody who's pregnant. But a fucking baby shower, like that's like the birthday parties that get out of control. I'm like, dude, we don't need, ma'am, this is your fourth child. Stop making people buy you shit.
When like I am not shitting on anyone who has these extravagant birthday parties. If you love that and you can afford that, that's great. But I'm not about to spend $500 on a balloon arch that's going to last me one fucking day.
For your fourth baby shower.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, or your
sorry. Sorry for all those that I've seen, because it's been the year of influencers being pregnant, and I've just seen again all the baby showers, and I'm like, no, come on, no.
Paisley turns 7 on July 10th, and so she's been asking for a party, and she wants a hairy.
Well, she's already there, huh? She wants. At first, I thought you were going to say hairy vagina. Then you looked like you were going to say a B word, so hairy butt.
I remember his name, Harry Potter.
She wants a hairy. End quote.
I couldn't remember his name. Harry Potter. Themed party, and I'm like, perfect. We'll do it at the pool. I'll get you Harry Potter, like plates and a balloon. One balloon that'll like tie to it,
like, so that everybody knows, hey, the party's over here.
I'm not doing it. I don't know what. Like, the more I see the over the top, the less makes me want to have like any type of party. It doesn't make me want it anymore.
No.
I think about the cleanup. I think about the cost. I'm like, not happening.
No. No, and then Bailey asked last night too. He's like, are we going, what do they call those things? Like a baby moon? And I was like, no, I do not want to plan a vacation when I can't drink. I was like, I want a baby moon after. I want somebody to take care of my kid, and I want to go to Mexico and get hammered on margaritas. Like, that's what I want.
Can we actually plan a post party for all of us to go to Mexico or do something fun like that?
Do something fun. Like, no kids, here we go. I'm ready to, once I'm settled and like ready to be like, okay.
Yeah.
We got enough milk supply. I'm good with that's the only tough thing. Like when you leave, it's not actually leaving the child. It's your boob situation, 100%. You don't want to be in an uncomfortable boob situation.
And when I traveled, when I was nursing, B was like 3 months. We went to Mexico, and then I had all of this milk, and I tried to bring it through, and they're like, you can't, ma'am, you can't bring that through the security unless you have the baby. I'm like, do you think I would have all this fucking milk if I had my baby? So they made me throw it all away. All away.
That's terrible. I mean, terrible. I would have thrown it all away anyway. Like, I'm not. I know some people just don't make a supply, so they're like savoring every single drop that comes out. I asked my mom, I was like, hey, how was your supply? She just goes, I don't think you're going to have a problem making milk. And I was like, okay. And then it was just literally, it's like, goosh, goosh, goosh. I was like, oh, grab another bag. Oh, we're overflowing here.
I'm also really excited for a vacation. Are you excited for Montana?
Yes, I'm so excited because it's such a relaxed vacation. Like going back home to Montana, when you go back to your parents, you're like, I don't have any cares in the world.
I am like their fourth grandbaby because I'm like,
it's like bringing children more. Like I am one of the grandchildren. Like feed me, take care of me, tell me what to do, drive me around.
For sure. And for those of you who don't know, Steph and I both are originally from Montana. We went to college together, but our family, Montana is such a massive state. It's not like we can meet up.
Yeah.
During this trip, she's in one part of the state, I'm in the other. It'd be like 10-hour drive for us to even see each other.
It's a long one. Yeah.
It's probably quicker honestly for me to fly from Denver to Midland to see you than for us to try to meet in Montana.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So we're both going to be enjoying the simple life, just in different parts of the state. But Steph and I were just talking about this before we got on about what we pack and actually how laxed it is. Like everyone's like, what outfits are you buying? I'm like, I'm not buying shit because you just wear some jeans and a t-shirt and some raggedy ass sneakers because
this is what me and Nikki didn't know what fashion was when we were in Montana because we were like, yeah, everybody just wears like jeans and a t-shirt and make sure that the jeans touch the floor, no high waters. And
Oh, the low ride, baby.
we got everything in Montana. Literally gets everything like 2 years later. So if you just think about it that way, so you're not.
There's
Even
no
if you
cars.
look trendy, people are just staring at you like, "What? Where's she going to prom?" That's my dad's line. Is like, "What are we going to prom today?" And I'm like, "Dad, I put mascara on. Like, come on."
I was just gonna say like a tinted lip gloss. My mom's like, "Wow, Nikki, you look like a
I didn't know we were dressing up for dinner.
But I will. One of my favorite things. My mom was here last weekend, and I was making fun of her because first of all, she says supper. She's like, "What do you want for supper?" I'm like,
Supper.
"What the fuck is supper, Mom?" She's like dinner.
Supper.
Dinner. But the second thing that I love going home for is talk about like a true vacation, but the true simple life. Like her problems are the squirrels knocked over the bird feeder and now the birds are pissed and the deers are in it. And she was just all up in
It's like nature, Mother Nature problems is what it is. Yes.
Nature problems. And so
yes.
I just looked at her. I'm like, this is amazing. So I can't wait for her.
We're going to our cabin, so we don't have, they have generators and solar and stuff like that, so we can turn electricity on when we need it. But for the most part, it's like, okay, well, everybody meet up where we have the internet so that we can, if you need to put anything out there, you want to check your Instagram.
You're like, Mom, do you realize this is my job?
This is the last time we went there, it was when Winston was like super small. And I remember just being like, you know what, I'm just going to go and post when I can, not worried about it at all. And I remember I wasn't even selling that much in LTK anyway, but because I wasn't sharing every single day, my numbers, like you could see this huge dip, and it was like, I can't come home ever again. Like we can't ever go to the cabins again because I can't afford to take a week off of work.
It's so true.
But luckily they got like that Starlink internet, and so like that's just at my parents' place, I think, or I don't know. I haven't been up there since they've had it. So,
but we'll have. Right?
Yes, we are flying, which it's not bad. The flights we booked, it was like super easy. Usually we have to fly into like Bozeman. So it's like a 2-hour drive then to get back over to the Boulder Wolf Creek area. Yep. But we found flights into Helena that were actually cheaper, which is crazy. Like small town to small town.
Awesome. So where do you connect, or do you?
Denver.
Yeah. Wait, that's so awesome. Because Helena is close to.
That's what makes it nice, is like not having to do the driving after you get off the plane, which if you're from Montana and you're going anywhere but Bozeman, Billings, Missoula, you have to drive another 2 or 3 hours to get wherever you're going. And you're like,
True.
Wait, should we have just drove? Not from Texas, no, but you're driving?
Yes, we are driving. We typically don't fly to where our parents are located, because it is astronomically expensive. Like we can actually fly to Europe as a family for less money than flying to Montana. It's over $1,000 a ticket to fly for an hour. It's an hour and 10 minutes to go to Billings. So you are up and then you are down. And I'm like,
wait, that's so confusing because my brother can get to Great Falls or Bozeman for like $45. So like they fly all the time.
They fly.
I don't know if it's just
Southwest.
They'll do Southwest, the Bozeman, or like Great Falls has that other one that's like Allegiant.
Yeah, Billings has Allegiant. They don't have Southwest in Billings yet, or they didn't. A lot of it has to do obviously with the time of year. Right now is like it's like stunning. Like we can get tickets there absolutely in February for $200.
You really gotta know.
When it's negative 30 degrees.
Yeah.
And for us, it's just easier just to pack what we need in the car. And our kids are to an age where we give them an iPad and they can play with apps, or they can like do those watercolor things. We make stops along the way in Wyoming.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's between like 11 and 13 hours by the time it's all said and done. And we can come and go as we need. Plus, like you said, we want a vehicle there.
Yeah.
His parents are in the sticks. Like they're not in a town. They're up like way into the mountains, and so we want to be able to come to a town if we want to with all 5 of us, and that's like a commitment for somebody else to have like a vehicle for.
Yeah. Like, can I have your car?
Yeah. So it's just easier. So I feel like kind of not nailed, but I feel like I'm getting better about what to bring on these road trips. Cause I usually always pack for the kids.
Especially if you get a vehicle, you're like, oh, I can pack everything.
100%. Like we need all of these snacks. We need all the activities. No, they just want to download a movie and watch that or like play.
And they're going to beg for a snack at a grocery store or like a gas station. They're like, can I get a snack? And you're like, no, we have them in the car.
I know. And I'm like,
boring,
sure.
Mom.
I know. And we go to McDonald's along the way and Subway, right? There's only limited options in Wyoming.
Oh, yeah. But that's anything that also like for me, I always think I'm like, let's not pack food because those snacks, you let them pick out something in the gas station. It keeps them occupied back in the car for another half hour because it's a fun new snack or eating lunch on the road. Like plan that into your like traveling and driving with kids.
Limited stuff. I just got like a few that I like snacks that I know will be their favorite. And then we have like some fruit that needs to be eaten that I'll just like throw in there. But I did like minimal this time. I have like one little grocery sack. And then I got each of the kids a new coloring book that I'm not going to give them until we get in there.
Yeah. That is the key with traveling with kids is new. It doesn't have to be an expensive toy or an expensive anything. It's just new, something different. Yeah. Or maybe like you only use these things when you travel so that they don't ever get to play with them. It's not like, I don't want to play with that. But if you only take these road trips like 2 times a year, 3 times a year, and they're like, wait, what's this toy? Wait, I remember this. And they're like, oh my God, I forgot how much fun this was. Like
those watercolor books, like the pen, we only bust those out on trips. Cause I'm like, they're easy or like the magic for B. Like my older 2 now are to a point where they can have crayons or colored pencils that we just put in like a big sack. But for him, he's messy as shit. So we'll just that stuff. And then, and he's to a point where he can have an iPad.
Yes.
Like I feel like we're almost.
Do any of your kids get car sick when they watch an iPad too long?
No, not anymore. Jack used to get sick just when we would drive up to the mountains in Oh, he would get so sick. But now he's been taking, and we make them take breaks. We're like, okay, you guys get it from, like we have stops along the way. So I'm like, you get your iPad for an hour and a half and then hour break. So we've been trying to be good about that. Do your kids or do you?
Winston did one time where he got sick, but Grant now it's like the 5 hours every time we drive to Dallas and you're just getting into like city traffic where you're like, okay, Bailey's got to focus in, like, okay, we're going to this exit and then this and then this. And Grant's like, bleh. And I'm like, oh my God, now the car smells like vomit. I got to be out of my seatbelt and try and clean it off. And he's just like, what happened? So I need to remember like to
bring a
barf bag or a bib or just like take them away for a while on the trip because
that's true.
Them looking down at that, there's something with staring at a screen and then for too long and they just get car sick and bleh.
And the reason my kids don't get sick on this trip specifically is because it's a straight shot, right? Like you were just going straight through Wyoming. There's not like a lot of diverse roads, which I'm really, like I said, I'm really looking forward to this vacation. However, when we come back, Ty and I have committed to making Brooks grow up. We are potty trained. I told you, I think on the last couple episodes, I'm like, he still has a fucking like newborn passy, like the ones that like from The Simpsons, just like, I'm like, it's time.
Wait, how old is he?
He'll be 3 in October.
Well, that's the same as Grant. He still has a fucking tassy and he's not potty trained.
I know, but I'm like, he's going to go to first ever.
Wait, is Brooks potty trained?
No, but that's what he like is now understanding the concept. And like, as he's pooping, his pants would be like, poop in the potty. I'm like, yes.
Oh, that's better.
But he's still shitting himself. It's on us. Like we know he's ready. And I'm like, I'm not ready. Like,
our teachers told us a couple of weeks ago that Grant was ready. And I was like, okay, thanks for the information. I will do that when I can. Like, and then she just started this week. Like, I'm just going to start putting him on the toilet. And I was like, okay, well, we're going on vacation next week. And I am not going to be worried about that kid shitting on a toilet. So
I know. Like,
it'll all go down. I was like, at least get him familiar with it. Yeah. Cause he has no, like, Winston wanted to, like, he would see the toilet and he was like, yeah, I want to pee like a big boy. Grant's like, nah. Not for me. I'm not getting rid of my pacifier because for him, it's literally like a drug. I know. It is like a cigarette. I have watched him run to his room, pick it up and go, and then put it down and leave his room. And he's like, whew, because I don't let him have it. I'm like, no, if you have it, then you have to lay down and take a nap because it's only for sleeping.
That's what he
doesn't get it at school all day. ever, even for napping. So I'm like, if you want to get your pacifier, you got to go to bed. And he was like, okay, then I don't want it. But I've watched him run in there and grab it and like,
just
okay.
one hit.
A couple hits, and then I'm going back out and watching the movie.
One thing we did with our older two kids, which we're going to do with B, if you guys have someone who's a little passy drug addict as well, is what we call passy bears. So we went to Build-A-Bear and put the pacifiers, like our kids put the pacifier inside the bear, and then they made the bear, and then now they sleep with that bear. Not anymore. Our older two kids don't anymore, but it was like a good transition to being like, he's right here. And it took like probably 2 days, and then they were fine. But B is like, we need to get that thing out of his fucking mouth. It's so bad. They're well, I'm trying to.
And then you're like storing. You're like, let me see, and you're like, haven't grabbed it. You're like, oh shit, give me that out of there. I don't want people. I don't want all the Karens coming for me where they're like, you should be out of a pacifier by now. I'm like, mind your own damn business. Okay,
that is so true. I always want to do like my morning vlog and like getting Brooks out of the crib, and I'm like, fuck no. A, he's still in the crib. B, he has a newborn passy, and he shits his brains out every day. He's almost 3. Could you imagine the people?
My child's 7 years old. Look at him. He's so cute. Oh, shit.
I'm trying to drop some hints, though, because we'll go up and see my mother-in-law this week, and then she's coming down in like 3 weeks to watch the kids for a full week, because Ty and I are going to go to Vegas for 3 days, and then we're flying from Vegas to Scottsdale to see Morgan Wallen, and then we'll fly home.
Well, that sounds fun.
But I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to get him potty trained. I'm hoping while we're gone that week, she just does it.
She's like, I did it. That's what I thought the school would do it too, that they would be like, well, he's peeing on the potty. And I'm like, good job, you guys. But they aren't getting my hints either. So we're going to have to just buckle down and do it.
Work on this. I know it's hard. I got to do it.
Winston was, like I said, we waited so long. Like we waited. I don't even know if he was 3 or he was about to turn 3. It was so close that it took zero effort. He was just like, I don't know why I have to walk around with no pants on, Mom. Like, I already know how to go pee.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Are you going to do it before baby comes?
I would like to. It would be really nice to, but like you said, we're going to make him grow up. For our first thing that we had to check off was getting him transitioned into the big boy bed with his brother. And I'm like, okay, we're there.
Yeah.
Pottying is just so Winston still wets the bed at night. It's still like,
it's such a commitment. I know.
It's even more of a commitment when they don't have a diaper on. So it's like, that's so much extra shit for me to do. Laundry, clean up your shit that you did on the floor.
And like you are tied to your house for at least like 3 days.
Oh yeah. For that first 3 days, it's like, okay, you take their pants off and you just go.
Yeah.
You're just constantly following them around. Ours was during COVID, so it was kind of nice that.
Oh yeah.
Somebody at his daycare got COVID, so they were like, oh, you have to stay home for 2 weeks. Like everybody has to quarantine. And I was like, okay, well, this is when we're going to do it, because we have like 14 days. Within the first 3 days, he was good. And I was like, oh, okay. We can't go anywhere anyway, but.
That's true. Yeah, I know. And the weather's so nice right now that I'm like, I want to be outside, not in here wiping your asshole. I don't know what to do. But we committed. Tough. I'm like, Ty has been traveling a lot to Midland, actually. So I told Steph I want to come out there sometime with him. So I'm like, we need to do a weekend or sometime when you're here, because I'm not doing this shit by myself. I can't.
I'm not helping you do it. Don't bring him to my house, Bo. I thought you said you were like, I'll bring him down there and then we can do it together. I'm like, no.
I like where your head's at.
I will not help people with their child problems that I can't even fix of my own. No, I'm not that good of a friend.
No, I'm not into it, but you still have a ways to go. This is our last hoorah with potty training. And then we're officially out of diapers, and I'm getting rid of everything. I've been getting rid of all my baby shit, all of it. I'm like,
so jealous. It's like I have so much free space when you get rid of all that big shit that's just bulky. You can't get rid of it.
But until you get a newborn and just have those smells and snuggles. Look at you. Steph's like, fuck that.
I wish I could pop out a baby at like 8 months old.
I'm the same way. I would have a fourth if I could. Just the pregnancy would go like this, and then it would be 6 months holding up.
You gotta have like baby boot camp, like newborn boot camp. We will sleep train them and get them on a schedule, and then we'll just tell you the schedule when we bring them back to your house. I'd be like, sign me up.
I'll have
Send me
10.
pictures during the day and videos and we're good to
I'm
go.
sleeping for 8 hours a night.
That is the worst part for me is those first like 2 weeks when you have like the Sunday scary feeling, that's feeling in your stomach where you're going to bed and you don't know what time. You don't know how long you're going to sleep.
Oh.
It is the worst feeling. I don't know why. I don't even have to go to a fucking job in the morning. Like I can just wake up and do my job at like flexibly throughout the day. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to take a shower. I don't have to do anything. But that feeling of everybody else going to bed and you're like, I fucking hate all of you because you guys know that you're going to get 9 hours of sleep and you're just sitting there like, and it's not that bad. Like you wake up and you're awake for like an hour. It's not that bad. But
the only nice thing about that hour is, it's like you black out and you go on Amazon and then all these packages show up. You black out.
Literally, that's what I get excited for. I was like, ooh, but I forgot I was looking at like a new purse before I went to bed. So I can keep looking at all those Amazon things or you're scrolling TikTok and you're like, oh yeah, bye.
Yeah, that is the best part. But I agree with you. But you have like the super mom strength, but the pit in your stomach, like when you're about to run a track meet or do something that is scary. As soon as you put all the other kids to bed and you know your newborn, you don't know what time they're going to get up, but you know they're going to get up or if it's going to be a good or bad night. I'm always just get the sweat.
It's like getting ready to go on stage, like give a speech. That feeling every night before bed when you lay down your head, you're like, love this for me. I told it, I was like, I need to really try and like I need to like mentally focus this time on it because I hated that feeling. But it's really not that bad. Like once you hear them cry, you're like, okay, I'm getting up, I'm doing it, it's fine. But there's something about going to bed, something about that yucky feeling in the pit of your stomach.
It's so true. Well, you'll get a lot of your content shopping done. You'll get
for sure.
So much shopping done.
So much shopping when you feel so sexy postpartum and you're like, yes, new clothes.
It's so true. But luckily, the nice thing, I mean, I don't know what fall's like in Midland, but you'll be, not you're like gonna be postpartum and be like,
it'll be like 96 instead of like 109. So yeah, we'll totally be dressing differently.
It's a hot one. It's a scorcher.
It's a scorcher down here, guys. A scorcher.
How long are you in Montana for?
From Monday for 7 days, Monday to Sunday.
Nice.
I know, and we're not bouncing around. Usually we'll go to my parents' house and then go up to the cabins or something. We're literally going from the airport to the grocery store to the cabins. That's it. We're staying there like, ooh, it's going to feel so nice to just like unpack everything and just be done. Ooh, I'm going to try. I need to put it up on my stories too when I pack them. I'm going to try that new packing method. Have you seen that?
What? No.
It's like the over-the-door organizer. You know those shoe organizers? Those little like material plasticky ones where you like have a shoe and you put it on the back of the door.
Yeah.
So you put your each kid gets like a row or two and you put their day's worth of clothes in the little slot. And then at the end you have it all this slot and then you just roll it up.
What?
And then when you get to where you're going, you unroll it and hook it on the back of the door.
What? That's so smart. I just throw all my shit in giant Ziplocs and we're like, here we go.
Oh, you could do that too. I was going to try and use like the vacuum seal bags this time, like to make more space. And then I was like, well, I don't have a vacuum when I'm coming home. So it's going to be pain in the ass.
Flying though.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll test it and let you know if that's a good
you're going to have
thing
to give us the deets on that.
Yeah. Because that like there we don't have like usually when we're going somewhere for a week we're like at a VRBO so they can like you can wash your clothes so you only need to pack like half of what you actually need. Being at the cabins we don't have any of that and it's extra dirty. So they may end up having to wear dirty clothes over and over again, but
they don't care. Just throw them in the water, rinse them off. They're fine.
They're fine.
Like your brother
Hose them down. Hose them down. No, but so we are flying. So I went yesterday and picked out, well, I have some stuff. These magnetic ones are the ones that you need to, I feel like they'd be really good for, car rides too. It's like a little game, like bingo, but all of the pieces inside are magnetic to this board. So then literally I'll show you. I know everybody listening to the podcast can't see it, but
I'm going to record you.
This one comes apart into two separate things so that you can actually play bingo, show and tell. So you spin the little thing, but look at these. All these things are magnetic, so they can't fucking lose them.
That's amazing.
I know. Amazon for the win, but I feel like they would work really good in a car ride too.
Until they start throwing them at each other.
I was going to say, Grant's really annoying with him too because he just starts throwing and I'm like, bitch, stop it.
That is my kids. They will find any excuse to fight. Doesn't matter what it is. I saw those. I was like, hockey pucks to the face. That's all I'm saying.
Hockey pucks to the face. You know what I see your dad getting really angry while he's driving. Like, what's his name? Where he's like, no yelling on the bus.
Chris Farley.
Yeah. No, stop throwing shit at me.
That is so funny. Well, I can't wait to watch The Cabin Life. I love that we're just going to be able to like take a second. I'm the same way. I'm in the sticks. We're like in the country with the cows and all the animals, and we just get
the cows. Yes, we'll be up in the mountains with the mountain lions and the deer and the bear, but
there's bears too where we're at. But it's fine.
It's fine.
So follow along to see Steph's stories once a day when she turns on the generator for 15
when we get the Jenny rolled up, and I'm just like, here's the last 24 hours. But that's also nice because then you're just like, you use your phone as a camera and you're like, I recorded everything. It's nice. It's fun. It's documented. But then you put it away. You're not scrolling.
Post that second.
No. And then I ordered. So this will be me, my two brothers, and then all their kids. And they have all their older kids are girls. And I was like, if I know some people want to go hiking, being pregnant, I'm like, I'm not living that life this trip. Okay. I don't want to walk.
Mm-mm.
So I was like, if I get crafting things, so I got like a little beading bracelet kit, and I was like, me and some of the older girls can just sit, and I'll be like, oh no, you guys go for a hike. I'm gonna sit and make bracelets with the little girls.
So fun.
Plus, be really like the cool aunt, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. Wait, that's so fun.
Yeah, so I might be bracelet. That's what I'll be doing. Is I'll be making bracelets in the mountains.
Sounds
not like playing with my own kids because they will probably somewhere, hopefully building forts and doing mountain shit.
They'll be doing boy shit with dad and
boy shit, yeah.
And Grandpa Daryl. You know, he's
Bumpa. His name's Bumpa. Yeah, Bumpa Daryl.
That's so cute. What does your mom go by?
Gigi. Gina. Oh, just fitting for Gina to be Gigi.
My mom, her name is Roxy, so we've always called her Foxy Roxy, and the kids just call her Fox. So she's
Fox.
Yeah, she's Fox. Like it used to be Grand Fox, but then the Grand got cut, so now she's just Fox.
Fox.
And then her husband.
That's so cute.
I know. Her husband's name's Pat, and so we called him G Pat. But when Paisley was 2 years old, we were like, say G Pat, and she could not say it. I'm like, say G, and to say G, say Pat. She said Pat, but when you said G Pat, she said PETA. So it's Fox and PETA. That's what.
Yeah. That's so cute.
I love the grandparents' names. Like when you get creative with it,
or how they end up developing them. Yes, super cute. Freaking precious. And then my mom. What does my mom? Oh, my mom does rock painting, so we'll be doing that too. She loves to find rocks out and then paint them. I mean, like she really does love to do that kind of stuff. So the kids, where they're like, "Oh, we can paint rocks."
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what we do in Montana for fun, people. Painting rocks. And the best part is you can just go down to the river, rinse it off, and repaint it.
It is so true. What's that one guy's name? The Hayden Cohen, like you know who he is. This guy.
Oh, like haters, right? Is that his thing? Yeah.
Did you see the one that was like influencers on vacation? Watch that one. We should post it to our thing because it's like, it reminds me just so much of influence. She's like, I know you guys have been wondering what I'm doing. I'm on vacation, so I've only posted 32 times versus my average 7. I'm going to put a list together of like 7 things that you can do under $7,000. And it's just like, it was just so funny, but like,
so true.
I know, like listening to our conversation of like, we're going to feel irrelevant if we're not posting every second.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll see it. I'm only posting 32 slides today. That's me taking a vacation. Okay. Oh, you want to know where my tank top's from? Sure. I'll go ahead and run up to my parents' cabin and get a link and post it up there for you.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's addictive, guys. We can't stop. Okay.
We're not going to do episode next week because we will be out, but we will do one the following, which is like the week of the 10th.
Yeah, we need to get some good ideas for some guests up in here because me and Nikki can only talk about to each other for so long before we just get real fucking boring.
We're going to get a guest. We'll get a guest for next time. Promise.
Yeah. And then once this baby comes out, we're going to start doing wine podcasts.
I can't wait. We need to have the guys on an episode sometime. When you're postpartum and we're drinking wine at night and you're just hanging out, we need to have like the guys on. A tell-all. Not really tell-all.
A tell-all.
Not really a tell-all. I tell-all, like, Bailey, how has Steph been postpartum? Tell me about it.
Bailey's going to be like, he gets nervous. He was like, I was nervous when you started this podcast because I was like, you're like, this is a long time for you to talk. And like, you need to not say some of the things that you normally say. And then I was like, hey, what if we do a podcast for the husbands? He was like, oh no. He was like, you are practiced and seasoned in like, not saying words that you're not supposed to.
Pretty good, right?
And he was like, I'm not that way. He was like, I could ruin your whole entire business in 1 hour.
He'd come on here and we'd be canceled the next day.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, follow us.
My dad said the same thing too. My dad, sorry, I keep interrupting you as you're trying to like, okay, we got to go. Okay, gotta go.
As long as you talk. Yes.
My dad said the same thing. He was like, I need to come on the podcast. And I was like, yeah, we should. And then I was like, ooh. Also, no. Like,
guys, Daryl is
we're not.
Best. We used to party with him in college, and he is so much fun. Both of your kids, like a blast.
He'd be like, can I say this? And I'm like, no.
Hey, it's podcasting. You can say whatever you want. You just let it off.
Some of the things that he says, even you're not supposed to say on a podcast. So.
Those good old Montana ways, to tell you what.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're gonna document slightly our vacation, but we're gonna try to enjoy it. Nikki's driving, I'm flying. So if you want to see how we roll with kids in both ways, that for sure will be recorded because we will have full internet while we fly. Nikki will keep you posted on how things are going with the drive.
Yes, I will.
And once we get there, basically we give our kids to our parents and we're like, bye.
Then I was going to say we're going to enjoy cocktails. You'll enjoy a mocktail.
Yeah, my mom was like, what kind of non-alcoholic stuff do you want? Like beer? And I was like, no, I'll just drink water. If I want a glass of wine, I'm having a fucking glass of wine. And if I want a beer, I'm having a beer. She's like, oh, we're on to the real stuff now, are we? And I'm like, yeah.
It's baby 3.
Baby number 3, Mom.
You can follow us at Sips and Gigs Podcast. You can find me at Nikki.Entenman.
And you can find me at Better with Chardonnay. I hope you guys have the best 4th of July weekend. Take a break. Enjoy it.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Peace.
Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts so other people can find the show. Come follow Nikki and Steph at Sips and Gigs Podcast on Instagram, where they share tons of behind the scenes to keep you laughing all week long. See you next week.